I'm going to play the first scenario from the Steel Fury at Zamoly module. It is titled The Woods South of Zamoly. It takes place at 24 December 1944, so Christmas time, and the battle takes place during the Soviet offensive operation that resulted with double encircling the capital of Hungary, Budapest, which is here. I'm going to use this board from the old Polish board game to show you what happened. And Soviet plan was to close two rings around Budapest. First one, the closest one, that would grasp the entire city, and the second one that would hold Germans of the Budapest, because both Soviets and Germans were certain that Germans will run some operations to break the encirclement. Budapest was too important. First, because there were not only Hungarian but also notable German units defending the city, but finally, Hungary was the last valuable ally of the Germany. In fact, it was the last real ally because, well, we can't call Japan ally, European ally of the Germany. So Germans did their best, but first they had to keep the proper starting positions for such operations, and that's why they were trying to hold the area between the cities of Mór and Székesfehérvár, the ancient capital of Hungary, by the way. And one of these attempts to create suitable positions for the further offensive operations was the battle that we are fighting today. German 5th Cavalry Regiment from the 4th Cavalry Brigade, supported by the tanks of the 6th Panzer Regiment from the 3rd Panzer Division, are attacking Soviet battalion from the 64 Guards Mechanized Brigade that tries to hold their positions. Germans are superior when it comes to the numbers, but the terrain is not going to favor them, and Soviets are doing their best to slow their advance down. This is the very first scenario for the Zamoly, and one of the smaller scenarios for Zamoly, but, well, smaller. Let me show you the board itself. It starts here, where the Germans are set up, because they are technically setting up off-board, because board starts with the hex row 9, so they are all off-board, and there we go. Yeah, this is pretty big board. And now, to win the game, Germans have to get at last 13 exit victory points on the board 9. And Soviets have to gain at last 32 casualty victory points to win the battle. So both sides have different victory conditions, and both sides have quite a complicated goals to approach. First, let's take a look on the sides when it comes to our forces. And now Soviets. Soviets are setting up first. They have a mixed bag of, well, pretty good squads, but the number is small when it comes to the size of the board. They also have 2 heavy machine guns, very important, along with these 50mm mortars. These are very important weapons when it comes to their defensive plans. They have 2 ATRs. These are pretty obsolete weapons. We are fighting in 1944 after all, but they can still do some damage to German tanks if hitting them from behind. Their main firepower resources are 2 heavy guns, anti-tank gun with 45mm and heavy mortar with 82mm. So these two can provide some serious firepower. And finally, they get some reinforcement group, another small number of squads, in fact one of each kind, a leader, and mostly this T-34-85 tank. So that's the best weapon that Soviets can get. What are Soviets' pros and cons? First, small number of leaders. Well, this is the obvious problems of every scenario with Soviets. And small number of squads. They haven't enough squads to cover the entire board. They have to create some key positions where they are going to stop or slow down German attacks, and then try to buy enough time. Next, they have a random number of these obstacles. First, minefields. We need to make rolls to see how many of these they are going to get. So first, let's roll for minefields. We have 1 plus d6 divided by 3, fraction rounded up. So that's 2. So this is going to be 1. So we have 2, 6 minefields. Now wires. We have any. We don't have any, so now let me roll. That's 6, so we have 3. Ha! Wish there would be a minefield number, because minefields are much more useful than wires actually. So let me find where I have my wires. I placed. Okay, so I have 2, and I need to find 1 more around. Okay, found it. Next, we also should roll for the number of additional concealment markers to create some dummy stacks, but well, I'm playing solo, so dummy stacks won't be in effect. So that's for Soviets, and now Soviets are setting up first. So let me tell you about Soviet plan. First, I create a big line of defense here. They will be all in concealment and in foxholes, because in this game every unit that starts in the concealment terrain may be set up in concealment. Also, Germans are off board, so they would be in concealment anyway. And the units that are not starting in trenches may be also hidden in foxholes, but please notice that foxholes in Zamoly work a bit differently. They provide only +1 TAM. These are trenches. I will cover every new feature when it is in effect. I think it's pointless to just tell about them now. I would rather tell about them when they will be needed. Okay, so next group is going to stay here. Their goal is to stop possible German offensive attempts in this area. Next, I formed a strong fire group here containing mortar, it should be like this, anti-tank gun and anti-tank rifle. Their goal is to cover this area, because this is big, wide, open space, perfect for artillery to fire. And next, I placed these anti-tank rifles here. Like I said, they don't have much use against enemy tanks when they're hitting them from the front, because their penetration value is 6, and all the German vehicles in this game have front armor of 8, so not much to do, but they hope to get Germans from behind, so they will be able to do some damage. And finally, my most important final stand. I have 3 Soviet groups, each equipped with a support weapon. Here we have light mortar, here we have heavy machine guns. These machine guns have a range of 12, and mortar has a range of 20, so they are able to cover a long area with their fire and hit anyone who will get closer to this board. And as you probably remember, to win the battle, Germans have to keep at last 13 exit points on this board. And this number is quite important. Why? Because Germans are starting with 3 vehicles, and some may think that simply driving these vehicles on the board 9 would be enough. No, they can provide, if all of them would reach this board, at last 12 victory points. So you have to get at last 1 infantry unit, single man counter or multi-man counter, on the board 9, along with all your vehicles to win the battle. And if you lose any of these vehicles, that might happen, you will have to bring more infantry. So that's the Soviet plan. And now let me cover Germans. Now, we have a good number of very good squads. 548, 658, 648, 468. In general, these are very good units with good morale and sometimes pretty good range. The only problem is that the small number of units with 6 range. We have only these 3 and all the others have 4 or 5 range. That's the only problem with them. We have a good number of them, and there is one important thing here. Please notice that they all have this symbol. This is not a Batman symbol. This is a symbol of German cavalry, and all these units are cavalry units. And the special rule for Zamoly says that every time you get such units, you can take 1 horses counter for each 5 of them. So I can get total number of 4 here because I have 20. So, but in fact, using cavalry in this battle might not be best idea. You know, this is not an Austerlitz, this is not a Waterloo. Using cavalry at 1944 is good when you want to move your units far away from the enemy. But when you are using cavalry and cavalry starts in the enemy line of sight in this game, you have to make task check with +2 modifier, and if you fail, your cavalry dismounts instantly. So this is not much useful in this scenario, because we are starting very close to the enemy here, and I'm not going to make much use of these horses. Next, we have 2 dismantled machine guns, 2 light machine guns, 2 Panzerschrecks, and you may ask, why at last 2 Panzerschrecks while enemy has 1 T-34? In this game you can use Panzerschrecks to fire not only versus tanks, but also versus enemy units in trenches. Normally you can use your Panzerschrecks or Panzerfaust to fire versus enemy units in buildings, but no buildings on this board, so they can still be useful versus enemy units in trenches. 2 demolition charges, and now our main force, 1 Panzer IV J and 2 Stuks 3. And now we have to make another roll, because of the Zamoly special rules that says that German units may start with Schulzens. These are additional armor screens that can be placed on the hull and on the turret, or on both. We need now to make rolls for them to see if they get Schulzens or not. First for the Panzer IV J, and now we are rolling with 1d6. If we roll 4, 5, 6, it has Schulzens, but if we would roll 5, it has only turret Schulzens. There are special tank counters in the Zamoly that allows you to mark it. Yes, this tank has Schulzens, so I'm going to use counter with SZ in the upper left corner, so this means this tank has Schulzens on both hull and on the turret. Now we have 2 Stuks. They don't have turrets, they only have hulls, so 4, 5, 6 meaning they have Schulzens, otherwise they have not. So for the first Stuk 3, it starts without Schulzen, and second one starts with Schulzen. So the second one is set up with this counter, and the other one is going to use normal advanced squad leader counter without Schulzens. So that's all for our Stuks and Germans. Oh, one more thing when it comes to German setup. We have an option. We can use artillery observer with radio and OBA of 81mm mortars battery with 2 fire missions, or we can decide to get this interesting vehicle that appears in this game. So I decided to take this because that's something new, and we all love OBA, aren't we? So this is a wagon train loaded with 81 mortar Yeah, I am quite surprised that they managed to put it on this wagon, and it can fire from this wagon. Yeah, you don't have to put it down on earth. It can still fire while being loaded on wagon. So that's quite interesting and new feature. So I'm going to use it instead. And now let me check on the German setup. So Germans are going to attack on the multiple zones, hoping that some of them will be able to get on this edge of the board. First, this group, supported by one Stück, the one without Schützens, is going to make attack here, and this squad is loaded on Stück as riders. Next, these guys are going to make their way through the forest, and their main goal is to reach these guns and neutralize them in any way. Finally, these guys are going to get this area and kill all the Soviets if possible, and then make a safe space for my other units. And finally, they are going to do the same here, and here I have my Panzer IV and my wagon train with mortar. This wagon train is an armored vehicle, so it is a very vulnerable one. So that's why I'm going to give it some safe space before I will be able to move it. Because despite being very vulnerable, it has excellent range of 28. They are loaded on Panzer IV as riders, and here I have a single squad loaded on horses, because I wanted to use them just because I can. So that's all when it comes to this setup. Now I can place the remaining counters, I mean all these minefields, wires and trenches and concealment, and I will be able to start the battle. Setup stuff is finally finished, so we can cover special scenario rules. We have 6 of them. First, environmental conditions are moderate with no wind at start. Next, Soviets may set up entrenched or above the foxhole counter. That's what I did. Next, AP minefields might be exchanged with AT minefields, and I decided to make it. So here I have 4 points of AT minefields, because I can get 1 point of AT minefield for the 3 points of AP minefield. So they are here. Next, Soviet heavy mortar starts with ammunition shortage, so it is marked with low ammo, and its breakdown number is lowered by 1. And next, German vehicles have APCR depletion number as they were light. And finally, Germans are setting up off-board, and if any of their units decides to stay off-board after the turn 1, it is not eliminated. It can still remain here and enter the game in the further turns. So that's everything when it comes to the special scenario rules. Okay, so we can now go with turn 1. This is German player is the first player, so let's go and do everything what is needed. We are starting with turn 1, and now wind check, no wind difference. So now we have rally phase, nothing to do, prep fire phase, nothing to do because all the German units are off board. Now movement phase, so Germans are starting their movement. And now what I am going to do, I'm starting with this squad, and it goes 1, that's 1 movement point, let me mark it. And now let's explain some new features. First, all the woods in the Zamoly are light woods. They work like a regular woods when it comes to the entrance cost, etc., but they work differently when it comes to the combat. Instead of regular woods that would block our line of sight, they work like a +2 hindrance if on the same level. If shooter and target are on the different level, they are blocking line of sight instead. So I spent 1, And now there is also a galley, but galley in this game work like a dry stream instead. So that would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, because we are on the same level. And now I would, I'm taking double time, so that's 4, 5. I should take it at the beginning of the game, but well, nope. So they have only one additional movement point. And now these Soviets here can see them. So the question is if Soviets wants to fire on them, or rather wait until they will enter this clear terrain hex that would make them much juicier target. I think that's what Soviets are going to do, so they are waiting. Now this German squad goes. They take double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This squad is going to take double time. Let me think. 1, 2, 3. No. Why? Let me show you. 1, 2, 3. We spent 3 movement points. And now we are reaching the black crest line. There are 2 types of crest lines in this game. Black and red. Black work mostly like crest lines we know, while red crest lines work like hillocks, mostly. If you remember the hillocks, they are from the African modules for the Advanced Squad Leader. They are shorter hills, and they are not blocking your line of sight in the same way like regular crest lines, and they have reduced cost of entrance. But here we have a black crest line, so that would double our cost of entrance. So we spent 3, so entering this hex would cost us total number of 4. And we have 3, so that would be 7. That's not enough, because we can get maximum of 6 when we are moving with a double time, so they are not moving any further. Now them, they are taking double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't move anymore, because this hex would require 7 movement points. Now them, they are taking double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these Soviets are staying silent for now, because, well, they want to be safe, they don't want to lose their concealment, and still Germans are quite far, they are all with double time, so they are not a major threat. I'm starting with this Stück next. It goes into motion, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, it wants to keep its... I wonder if I should try to keep my riders on or not. Well, I will try. I will keep them on. So that's... well, no. I will have to remove them when I will enter these woods. So, no. They are going off vehicle. And now Stück stops here. Wait, no. It's not stopping. Instead, it is going to use its special weapon called SN, as you can see here. Come on. Okay, I think you can see. It has value of 9. This allows me to place dispersed smoke on the hex I am in if I will roll 9 or less. So let me roll. That's 8. So yes, I can place dispersed smoke here. And then I go, after I place this dispersed smoke, I go crew exposed and stopped. So these Soviets might think of firing at me, but now that would be harder because of the dispersed smoke. So no, they are staying silent in their foxhole. And now this group, they are moving 1, because red crest line provides not additional cost of entrance, even if you are moving up. Let me show you this. oh sorry, we are moving in the open ground, and we are moving up the red crest line one level, so that would be just one, not additional cost. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are 80 minefields, so they have no effect versus personnel, so I can enter this hex safely. Now them. They are taking double time, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They do the same, so it is a galley, and galley cost me normally 2, so that's 2, 4, and 6, because of the special cost of galley here. And now 1, 2, that's I'm moving up down the road, and that's here. This leader is going to stay there. His goal is not to engage in combat, but rather to help his men if they would be broken. Next is this squad, and now they are moving 1, 2, 3, moving here up because we are on the level 160, and that would be 150, and that would be 160, would cost me double cost of entrance of this hex, so that's 1, 2, 3, so that would be 7. So no, I can't enter it here. And here we have another new feature. This blue line is drainage ditch. Drainage ditch isn't providing additional cost of terrain when you are moving, but you can spend one additional movement point to get +1 TAM because of drainage ditch. So next I'm going to move them. They are taking double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now let's go to this part of the board. I'm starting with this Stück, armed with Schützens, and it goes in motion. It goes crew exposed. Where do I have crew exposed? And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It stops, and now it fires with its machine gun on them. It has machine gun of 4, so it is halved for the first time because of the bounding fire. Next, it is halved again because of the concealment, and now it is doubled because of the point blank. So we have 2, and we have +2 because enemy is in the trench. So we have 2 + 2. Okay, that was a great shot. So that's 5. So that's 2 + 2, 3 + 2. So it's 5. 5 in the column of 2. That's normal morale check. So these Soviets are losing their concealment because they have to take morale check. And 5 they passed. Lucky for them. So now my gun fires at them next. So that's the bounding first fire. So let me count my modifiers. They wouldn't be amazing because we have +2 for bounding fire. Next we have to add 3 because we are non-turreted vehicle, so that's 5, and +2 because of the trench, so that's 7, and we need 8, so only a critical hit would save us. Nope, that's not a critical hit, and I can't place the bounding fire marker because target acquisition marker, because it was bounding first fire, and I can only do it during the advancing fire phase. So that's all for them. And now Soviets, well, they can try fire back on them, hoping they will hit this crew and maybe do some damage to them. Maybe even force this vehicle to be recalled, if they would be very lucky. So they have 8 and +2 because of the partial protection of the armor. So that's 8 +2, so that's 10, no effect. So that's first fire, and residual fire of 4. Okay. They are making assault movement into these trenches. They are not moving any further. Now them. They are taking double time and they are moving 1, 2, 3, 4. And now another new feature. These white patches. There are deep snow, but they are used only for the scenarios that take place at January 1945. In the scenarios of December 1944, they are like a normal clear terrain. They don't add any other new stuff. So that's 4, and I am moving here 5, 6. They are marked as double time. They are also using double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or wait, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like this. Still a bit further. And double time. And finally, this platoon. So I will start with my tank. It is going into motion, it carries riders, and it moves like this. It is going to be crew exposed also. So it's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now Soviets feel that the threat is increasing, that Germans are getting very close to them, and what should they do? They decide to fire on the approaching Germans. Please notice that many Soviet units in this scenario have these markings here. Please ignore them. They are not used in this scenario, they are just regular Soviet infantry. I just wanted to use these counters from Zamoly module. So ignore all the features that I'm not talking about are meant to be ignored. So they are firing here at 8, and now we have 2 targets. These riders and crew of the tank. So we are making one roll, and this roll affects both of them. First riders and then crew exposed. So that's 9. And 9 plus 2, so crew is fine, but the riders are not. They have to take morale check, and let me check if riders are affected by FFNAM and FFMO, because I don't remember. No, they are not, but I got 9 on the column of 8, so this is pin test check. And if riders fail to make a pin test check, they are forced to bail out. So they failed because we have 9, so they have to bail out, and now they have to take a morale check to see if they are broken or not. So they are definitely going to be set up down below this tank, and now I need to make a check to see if they are broken or not. They are! Oh, unlucky riders. So they break, they bail, and they are in problem. And now my tank decides to fire on the unconcealed Soviets now. First I'm firing with my machine guns. I have 3, 2 and 3, 5 and 2. I am crew exposed, so I can fire with my machine guns, including anti-air machine gun. So I have total firepower of 10. It is doubled because of the adjacent hex and halved because of the bounding first fire. So I have total firepower of 10, so it's going to be 8 plus 2 because enemy is in the trench. So this is a miss because that's 2 plus that's 8 plus 2, so it's 10, no effect. And now I can use my main gun. Not going to be easy because 2 for the bounding fire. Another 2 because we have normal turret traverse, so that's 4, and another 2 because enemy is in the trench, so it's 6. And we need 8, so again only critical hit would save us. Now, that wasn't very far, but that's another problem. We roll 4, and 4 in this game is Soviet sniper activation number. So I need to check if Soviet sniper is going to wake up. I am losing my rate of fire. I can't place target acquisition because that was a bounding first fire. And now let's roll for the Soviet sniper. He's sleeping. Okay, so that's all for this tank. And yeah, target I placed. And now the remaining Soviets, the Germans. So they are moving with double time, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I am moving up the black crest line. So they have to pay doubled cost of entrance. They are doing the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leader simply follows them here, and now this group. I'm not going to move this mortar further, it simply moves here. It has now 28 hexes, so that's a range, so that's pretty good. But I think I will move it a bit closer. It is going to be 1, 2, 3, and that's where it stops. It moves like a wagon. Now they are moving here. It is a path, and this is a graveyard. These are hexes with light woods and graveyard. They work like a light woods for every purpose, save to the vehicle movement. If vehicle moves here, it has to take a box check like it would enter the graveyard hex. So they are taking double time, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, because they are moving up the black crest line. 3, 4, 5, 6. And these guys are on horses, so they are moving here. They don't have any enemy units in the line of sight, so they don't have to take a task check at the beginning of their movement. That's good, otherwise they would have to take this task check plus 2, and if they would fail, they would have to dismount. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they can't still see them, so that's all. Okay, so that's the entire German movement phase in the turn 1. So now I can remove residuals. I haven't many of these. And next we have Soviet defensive fire phase. So do I want to fire with my Soviets anywhere? Let me see. I think that there is a situation where firing on these Germans makes sense, because they are getting very close and they might try to assault me and engage me into close combat. And Soviets would rather like to avoid it. So they are resigning from their concealment and they are firing on them with firepower of 8. That's pretty good. So maybe it will be enough to bring these Germans away. That's 12. Hell. That's failure. That's absolutely nothing. So damn you. Stalin is not going to be happy because of that. And now, do I have any other situations where I want to fire on the approaching Germans? Let me see. Yes, actually yes. These guys are first fire, so they can still fire on this crew and on this squad. So they are firing, and they have now 4. Oh my. Soviets aren't very lucky. Who is going to be next? Or any? Well, they. They are firing at this crew exposed, so they have 4 plus 2 for the partial protection. That's 7 in the column of 4. This is pin test check. And they failed. And if crew exposed fails, pin test check, they go buttoned up instantly. So that's all. And I think that I haven't anything else to do with Soviets. Yes, my guns can't see any Germans. Well, you may ask about this anti-tank gun. It cannot target this this German tank because the crest line that crosses our line of sight is black, so we can't see this nasty tank. Okay, so that's all for the Soviet defensive fire phase, and we are going into German advancing fire phase. So let me remove first and final fires, and now let's go with German advancing fire phase. So I have a lot of situations where I want to fire. I'm starting here. I have 5, and they have assault fire ability, so they have total firepower of 6 now, plus 1, minus 1. So that's 6 and nothing. Another lucky shot, this time for Germans. Next, my tank is going to fire on them with its machine gun. So it fires with 4. It is halved because of the advancing fire, so it's 2, plus 1, and plus 2 because of the smoke, so it's 2 plus 3. Almost impossible shot. And do I want to use my gun? Nope. Now them. They are firing here, so they have 6. So it's halved, so it's 4, so it's 3, and plus 1 for assault fire, so it's 4. So they have 4 plus 1 and plus 2. So it's 4 plus 2. Oh my! I have a feeling that this is going to be a game of roll high. Next. They are all making fire on them. They are creating a fire group, so let us see. 4, 8, 6, and 8. So we have 8, plus 1 for double time, plus 1 for foxhole. Oh, sorry, no, they are concealed. So it's going to be not 8, but 4. So they have 4 plus 2. Okay, finally a good roll. So that's 2, so it's 4 in the column of 4. This is morale check plus 1. And Soviets are broken. Oh, that was one of the best Soviet units. That's very bad for Soviets. Because these 6 to 8s are called assault infantry in this game, and they have some special features, like they can use anti-tank mines in the close combat. They have Molotov cocktails ability, and they have smoke exponent higher than 1 by 1. Now here nothing to do, and now let me go there. These guys are firing here, so they have 5, so so it's halved. It is 2.5, then +1 for assault fire, so it's 3.5, so it's 4. So I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so I have to halve my firepower twice. So that would be 2 and +2 -1. Oh, not only. Another new feature arrives. These are partial orchards. How to tell difference? If we have 3 or 2 bushes on the hex, this is a partial orchard. Otherwise, this is regular orchard. And while regular orchard works like regular orchards from the advanced squad leader, then partial orchards have a bit more different use. Instead of being inherent terrain, so covering the entire hex, they work like an hindrance only if the line of sight crosses precisely graphic on the hex. But here we have a situation when it definitely crosses this hex, so it will be +1 for partial orchard, +2 for the trench, -1 for the leader. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 2, yeah. 8, nothing. Who is going to be next? Now there, this tank already fired. So they can't do much. And my infantry, well, they would fire through this wood, so that would be +2. That would be very hard to achieve anything. But now I have this mortar on the wagon. So it can fire. Of course it would be harder to hit because of the +2. And we don't have a rate of fire. Sorry, we don't have a rate of fire because this is advancing fire. But still, that would be worthy to use it. Let me check. I cannot fire them because, again, line of sight is blocked by this black crest line, so nothing. So no, I don't have any good use of this mortar, so nothing. And this concludes advancing fire phase. It wasn't very effective, to be precise. Well, the only good thing was this shot. We managed to break down a very potent Soviet unit. So that's all for advancing fire. And next we have road phase. So who has to road? On the German side, because they are routing first, these poor riders. They are routing here, so they are seen by Soviets, so they need to take interdiction roll, and sadly they fail, so they are replaced with the half squad. Second line, so German half squad. Where do I have any? I swear I put them somewhere around. Okay, found it. And now it goes 1. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to stop here, stop there. Okay, then Soviets. This unit is here in the light woods, so it's safe. So it doesn't have to road. It is in the foxhole. So no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to road, mostly because this hex, or maybe wait. Maybe I should just go away to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I will have some leader around who can save me. Yeah, I have here one leader, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let them go here to the leader so he can rally them.
So that's all for the road phase. Next we have German advance phase. And now let us go. They are moving here. So, no, not with a minefield, guys. So this is going to be close combat. They are moving here. These riders are moving here. That's minefield, so they are fine. That's anti-tank minefield, so they are fine. They are moving here. They are moving there. 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 No, leader is going to remain here. They are going here. They are moving there. Now this part. Do I want to go crew exposed here? I think I want to. Okay. And now there these Germans here, here, there, 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 and riders and mortar are staying here. So that's all for the German actions in the turn 1, and we are now, oh no, we have close combat. I would forget about it. Okay, so we have close combat here to resolve, so let me mark close combat on this hex. And what do we have here? So let's roll for ambush. And Soviets, Germans. Germans have -1 because of the leader, so that's 5. Still, this is an ambush because the difference is 3 on the Soviet side. So Soviets are attacking first. They have 4 -5, so it's going to be 1 to 2. And they have -1 because of an ambush. So they need 4 or less. 6 -1 is 5, that's not enough. And now Germans. They have 5 to 4, so that's 1 to 1. They have +1 because of the ambush and -1 because of the leader. 5 in the 1 to 1, this is enough to decimate Soviets and turn them into half squad. So Soviets are turning into 248 half squad, and all these units are now locked in melee. Okay, so that's all for the close combat, and we are now going into Soviet part of the turn 1. We are starting with rally phase. Soviets, this one will try to self-rally. They can't, and Germans cannot self-rally, so I am removing desperation morale markers. Next, prep fire phase on the Soviet side. They have some juicy targets around, but that would result with losing concealment. So they wonder if that would be a great idea to actually stay here. No, they are going to keep their concealment. Same, so do them, and so do they. Nothing. They haven't that choice. They are already revealed. So they are targeting this crew of this Stuk again. So that's +8 + 2. That's 6 + 2. So that's the normal morale check. That's 6. So they passed. Good for them. Otherwise they might face some serious issues like being stunned. And now them, they have 2 options here. They can fire on this infantry or try to neutralize this tank. Of course, tank is much more dangerous, so the answer is clear. We are hitting German crew. So again, 8 + 2. That's 5. So that's the morale plus 1. That's even better. We have a solid chance to give this crew hell. Ah, no. That's 6. But plus 1. So that's 7. And German morale and regular tank morale is 7. So they are pinned. So they are losing their crew exposed status. Or maybe I need to make sure if there is if something worse isn't going to happen to them. I believe not, but let me check. Well, this is Advanced Squad Leader. We all make mistakes after all. Okay, I made a mistake before because they are stunned. Okay, so that's all. And now, any other Soviet units want to fire? Let me see. I believe no. I believe I haven't any opportunities to fire on these nasty Germans around. I want to keep my guns in concealment for now. My machine guns haven't any targets available, so nope, that would be everything when it comes to the Soviet prep fire phase. And now we are going into Soviet movement phase, and that's where Soviets have something to do, not with units on board, because all the units on board would rather remain safe in their concealment, so they are not going to make any movement, but the units that are going to enter the board have some stuff to do. So let me place them, and now they are going to move. And there and there. So I need to hold my camera because they are on the edge of my table actually. One inch and then my camera would fall down, so I would have to hold it in my hand. So I'm starting with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's their road movement. 6, 7. That's their double time. And now they are moving with a leader down the road with double time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they are both marked with double time. And now I have one more thing to do with my tank. My tank rides here and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, or no, wait, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so it ends here. It ends in a motion, so it remains in motion. And that would be everything for the Soviet movement phase. Yes, that would be everything. And next we have German defensive fire phase. So of course Germans are going to fire, because they wouldn't waste such an opportunity to give Soviets some hell. And now let me see who is going to do what. I will start with them. They are firing here, so they have 6. It is halved because of the concealment and doubled because of the adjacent hex, so they have 6 plus 1. That's 8 in the column of 6. This is pin test check. 7 plus 2, 8. They are fine because they had 8, but since they were forced to make a test, they are losing their concealment. So at last, that's what's good. Oh, sorry, no. Why? We have plus 1 for double time, so that would be 9. And 9 in the column of 6, that's no effect. So they are keeping their concealment. Now they are doing the same, so that's 4 plus 2. Nothing. So that was final fire. Final fire. They don't want to fire. they are firing here, so that would be +2, and well, let me count the strength. They have 3 + 5, so that's 8. And enemy is concealed, so we have 4. And now +2 + 4 - 1. So we have 4 + 3. That would be tough shot, but let's try. Nope, that's nothing. Now this Stück fires here, first with its machine guns. So it has machine guns of 4 and 1, so that's 5. It is doubled because of the adjacent hex, so that's 10. So we have firepower of 8 + 2 for the trench. Nothing. And now my gun fires at him. So now my modifiers are going to work a bit different. It is just a +2 for trench. Still a miss, but now I can place target acquisition here. This is... Oh no, not that counter. Final fire. And now they are firing here, so they have 4 + 1 + 2, so it's 4 + 3. That's 4 + 3, that's 7. So that's pin test check for Soviets. They are fine, so nothing. This tank is stunned, so it cannot fire, but they can. So they have 8, they have 4, so that's 12, + 1 + 3. So that's 12 + 3. And that would be everything when it comes to the German defensive fire. Wasn't very lucky. We failed almost everywhere. And now we have Soviet advancing fire phase. And I think I haven't much to do around, because most of my Soviets that could actually fire already did this during their advancing fire phase. So that's all for the advancing fire phase. And next we have to remove prep fires. And now let me check for the road. Do I have any units that have to road? I don't see any. No, I don't see any units that have to road. So no road phase. Nothing to do in the road phase. And next we have Soviet advance phase. And yes, Soviets are going to advance with their upcoming infantry. They are moving here. They are moving there. And that's all for the advance phase. And now we have close combat phase. So this one is flipped on the +1. I haven't any pin markers on board. So now we have close combat to resolve. Its melee goes here. And we have 2 versus 5. And Germans have -1 because of the leader. So that's 2-1 for Germans and 1-2 for Soviets. Germans, nothing. Soviets, nothing. And they remain locked in this damn melee. Good for Soviets, not very good for Germans. And this concludes turn 1. So now we can start turn 2. We are starting with rally phase, and now Germans can do self-rally. That's what they are going to do here with this broken squad. Half squad. Okay, not even a half squad anymore, because they take a reduction, and because of that they are dead. So let's say goodbye to this squad. They are good as dead. So the first German squad is eliminated. Soviets need to count every destroyed unit, because they get victory points for them. So that's all. And now let me check for the Soviets. Well, nothing to do when it comes to the rally phase. And now we are going into German prep fire phase. So where I'm going to do any prep fire. Let me see. So they are firing here. That's 12 plus 3. I will remove this double times because they won't move anyway. Who is going to be next? They don't have much options here because these Soviets are concealed. Yeah, they are concealed, so that would be pointless to fire on them with such a low chances to achieve anything. Oh, I'm sorry for placing. They should be under this melee. Okay, so that's all for the German advanced prep fire phase. Maybe this Stück. Yeah, this Stück is going to fire here. So this is going to be 10 for the machine guns. So it's 8 plus 2. 6. This is 1, but vehicular machine guns have no rate of fire. So that's 8 in the column of 8. This is normal morale check. And they are pinned. Where's pin? Here. And now my vehicular main gun fires with plus 2 and minus 1. And that's the miss again. I hate these 2-hit rolls. So that's all for them. And I believe that's all for the... Okay, no, I'm going to fire here anyway. So that's 8 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. So 8 plus 2 here, nothing, and that's 12 plus 2, no, sorry, 6, because they are concealed. Damn, yeah, they are concealed. So that's 6 plus 2, and that's 7. In the column of 6, 7 is normal morale check. Finally. They break! So another elite Soviet unit goes down. So it was a risk worth taking. So they are... I will also remove these markers, since they won't be moving. And that's all for the prep fire phase. So now let's go to the German movement phase. And where do we want to move? Oh, this is prep fire, so I need to remove dispersed smoke. And now, this German squad is removing its double time and moves normally. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are staying here. They opt to enter this close combat later. They are making assault movement here. They are safe. They are moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are moving 1, 2, 3, 4. They are making assault movement on this hex. And now these Soviets feel that this is a situation where they might be in danger. So they think that firing on these Germans might be a good idea actually. So they are firing on them. They have 5. It is doubled, so they have 10. So that's 8 plus 1. Oh my god. Why? Oh no, not prep fire, but defensive fire. Why these Soviets can't do much of the successful defensive fire? I have no idea. They are making assault movement here. So they are doing the same. That's 4 plus 1. And again, nothing. So that's residual of 2. They are losing their concealment. Oh, where it fell somewhere. I will have to take a look for it. And they are making a thal movement here. So these Soviets opt to keep their concealment or fire on them. Well, they would keep their concealment. Now they are moving normally. That's 1, 2, since we are moving up the black crest line, and 3, 4. And now this is a moment where these Soviets are going to do their fire. So they are firing on them with 12 plus 1 minus 1. So that's natural 12 without, since modifiers are nullifying each other. 7 in the column of 12, this is morale check plus 1. So German leader, okay, he is wounded. Let me take a look for the kind of wound. He is just wounded. Okay, he's still alive, just wounded. And now squad 9, so they break. So it was wise to keep these guys. So that was 6. So that's the residual firepower of 6 and first fire. And now my Stuk. My Stuk sees that there are 80 anti-tank mines everywhere. So still it needs to cross this area somehow. So it goes into motion. 1, 2, 3, and now it enters this anti-tank minefield. It is anti-tank minefield with the value of 1. So now I need to make a roll to see if any of these mines would actually hit me. So there is one minefield, so I'm rolling with 1 die, and if I would roll 1, then this mine is in effect. That's 2. Okay, so the tank is fine. There won't be a hit me baby one more time singing, because there was one minefield. And now I want to exit this hex, and I need to make one more roll, because we make one roll for entering and one more for exiting. Okay, so yes, there was actually hit me baby one more time. Britney Spears would be proud of me, but nope, this is a miss. So now this tank enters these light woods, and of course it needs to make a bog check now. So there will be a bog check, and we'd start here. So it was 1, 2 for moving, for changing its facing, 3, 4, and now that was 4. We entered light woods. Let me check for the cost of movement points for the woods. Where it is? Where did I put my chart? Okay, so I spent 5 movement points, and I can enter light woods at the cost of 1/3 of my movement points. So I have 13, so it will be 4, fractions rounded up. So that would be 5. So I have spent 10 movement points now, and I need to make a bog check. Well, we all love bog checks, aren't we? And +1, because when you are entering light woods at the cost of your 1/3 of your movement points, you have to add +1 to your bog check. 8, we are fine. Okay, so we have 10 and 11, and now I'm on the road. 12 and 13. So let me mark this Stück with that Stück remains in motion. Okay, so that's everything here, and now let's go there. Now they are moving 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the Soviets, do they want to fire? Germans are getting closer, so yes, they are going to fire on this 447, since they are more vulnerable. So this is going to be 8 plus 1 and minus 1 for non-assault movement, so that's 0. Okay. Damn. Like I said, this play is going to be sponsored by high rolls. So that's 4. I can fire on them again, because they spent 2 movement points here, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's... this time it's going to be 4. And this is a covering. Damn. So this is 2 with 6. That's just pin test check for Germans. At last they also roll high, so they are pinned. Okay, that's good. They won't be able to advance. Where do I have my pin test markers? Oh, here they are. So that's final fire. And now there. They are moving normally. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Soviets are firing at them with 8 plus 1 minus 1. Again, I have to get used to these high rolls. And they are doing this another shot just instantly. So that's 4 and 7. That's more pin test check. Germans are fine, but they rolled 4. This is the Soviet sniper activation number, and big Soviet sniper appears. Alright, so let me mark it. First we have 4, here we have final fire, and now I need to check for the big Soviet sniper. Where he is? Where is the Soviet sniper at first? Well, he's here. Let's go there. We have 1, so that was big sniper, and where he goes? 5 and 2. So there he goes. These guys are in the open ground, they are in the woods, so he attacks them and he breaks them. Okay, they are desperation morale. Let's go back there. This squad moves next, and that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now this tank, it wasn't moving, it wasn't firing, so it can now move. It goes into motion, so it's 1. These Soviets can fire at him, but that would be final protective fire, so morale check. No, they don't want to do so. So this is going to be everything when it comes to their movement, to their fire. And now this tank continues. It goes 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it spent 5 movement points. So Soviet anti-tank gun can definitely see him. Let me show you. The guy is here. so it has a line of sight. It hadn't there, so it spent just one movement point here, so that's not enough for a good shot. So that's 5. And now I want to go up, because this is a lower level than here. So moving up to the red crest line with tank costs me 2 movement points. So that's 7. And now this anti-tank gun and this Soviet tank can fire at them. This tank is in motion, so that's not a very good idea to fire when you are in motion. So no. But I think that gun wants to do it. So it fires with range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is 14. On the vehicle target type, this is going to be 8, and we have LL gun, so it's +1. So we have 9. So let me remove concealment. So we need 9, and now enemy vehicle is in motion, so we have to add +1 to our two-hit die roll. It spent 3 movement points in our line of sight, so we add +1, so that's 3. No obstacles on our line of sight, so no other modifiers. So that's just +3, and we need 9. So we need 6 or less to score a hit. 7. That's not enough. So but we have 3. So we have a rate of fire. I can place target acquisition on this tank. For the gun. And now this tank calls for its own smoke protection. It needs to roll 9 or less to get it. It has it, so I can place dispersed smoke on this hex. It is considered to be spending on 1 movement point, and now this gun fires at him again, but this time it's going to be different. We have +2 because of the vehicle in the motion, +2 because of the smoke, so that's +4, and -1 because of the target acquisition. So it's 3 again, and we need 9. So there, on the roll that which is 6 or less, there will be a hit. That's a 7 again, so that's the miss. My tank gets area target acquisition of -2, and that was 5 on the red die, so this gun is losing its rate of fire. It can fire again, but only on the intensive fire. So tank decides to stop. So it's maybe wait a moment. Stopping might be a good idea, but I won't be able to fire much. Well, I'm doing so. I'm stopping. So it's not in a motion anymore. It has this smoke that is going to protect him, so that's good. Okay, so that's all for this tank, and now I have these 2 remaining units. This mortar on the wagon train and this cavalry. And this cavalry is not willing to go anywhere. It stops. It's stopping. Now this leader, 1, 2, 3, 4, he is going here. And now this wagon train with a mortar goes. Does it want to move? Let me see. There is this black crest line here, so that's the complicated situation, because I can't fire through this black crest line here. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 3. It's going to be like here, or maybe not, 4 and 5. Okay, that's all for its movement. And that's everything when it comes to the German movement phase. There was a lot of moving, and now I can remove all these markers. And now we have Soviet defensive fire phase. So do I want to fire with my Soviets anywhere? Certainly I want to do so. So they still have first fire, so they can fire here again. So that's 4 and +1 this time. 9, nothing. So that's the final fire now. Anyone else? No, all the remaining units have final fire, so no. I'm not going to make them reveal make my concealed units reveal themselves. That would be not a very brilliant idea. So that's all for the defensive fire, and now German advancing fire. Let's see. They are firing here, so that's 4 plus 1. Miss. I'm not even surprised. They are firing here, so they have 4 and they have 7, so that's 11. 11 plus 1. That's 4, so it's 5 in the column of 8. This is morale check +1. And that's the Soviet sniper activation number. So 3, and that's the German sniper activation number. Okay, so he passed. And now let me roll. First for the Soviet sniper. This is small Soviet sniper. Where he was? Here. And now for the German sniper, nothing. So small Soviet sniper is here. And where he goes? 4 and 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And he pins the crew. So the crew is pinned, meaning that the crew is stunned. Oh my! Yet another crew suffers the same fate. That's extremely unfortunate. So I need stun marker. Where it is? I haven't any around. Looks like so. So I need to find stun marker. That's the one with recall. And I need the one without recall. Just with 2 hit. +1. Alright, so let me mark them. So this tank is now stunned by the Soviet sniper. Okay, so do I have any other situations where Soviets want to do their defensive fire? Germans do their advancing fire. So nothing to do there. They are firing here. So that's 8, and it is doubled and halved, so that's still 8 plus 2. Okay, that's the good shot, but yet another Soviet sniper activation. So that's 4, and we have also a rate of fire for our light machine gun, but we have no rate of fire in the advancing fire phase. So that's 4, it's 5, 5 in the column of 8, that's morale check +2, 7, so they are fine, and now Soviet sniper activation number, nothing. So that's the advancing fire. Next, there, oh, I forgot to remove defensive fire. And they are all firing here, so they have 4 and they have 2, so that's 6. 6 plus 1, 4, another Soviet sniper activation number, but that's 5 in the column of 6. That's morale check plus 1 for Soviets. Oh, come on. They passed, and now Soviet sniper, he's sleeping. So, final fire, bounding fire, and finally there. So they are all forming, no, they can't form fire group because they were firing. So now, they are firing here, so that's 6 plus 2, nothing. And they are firing here, so that's 2 plus 2, nothing. So this concludes my advancing fire options. I think it is. So that would be everything for my for German advancing fire. Yeah, I can remove advancing fire markers. Many of them, but effects are rather miserable. I don't like how it goes for Germans. That it should be faster. Well, in my plans. Okay, so that's all for the advancing fire phase. Next we have a road phase. So Germans, do they have to road anywhere? Yes, I believe they have to. But here in this part of the board, so they are routing here, they are routing there. And now Soviets, they have to route 1, 2, and that's all. They can't move any further because all around are German units, so they can also only do road on this hex, so that's unfortunate. Next is the German advance phase. So they are advancing here, they are moving here, they are advancing there. Oh, I should remove this one. Close combat. Close combat. Not a melee, but a close combat, guys. Don't be that fast. Here. Now, there. Yet another close combat. Hope I am not locking them now in the melee for the 3 or 4 turns. It always it happens very often. But I think this is the quickest way to get rid of these Soviets, so I'm going to take this risk. Alright, so that would be everything for the advance phase, and now close combat phase. Alright, so let's start here. This hex, and we have 9 versus 4, so that's 2 to 1 for Germans, and Soviets are attacking them, so that's 1 to 1. So Germans 8, not enough, and Soviets 7, not enough. They are locked in melee. Yes, that's what we all hate. Now here, so ambush roll, Soviets, Germans, Soviet ambush. So Soviets 10, they failed, Germans, they failed. So again, melee locked units. There, So ambush roll. Soviets, Germans, no ambush this time, and Germans have 6, Soviets have 4, so Germans have 3 to 2, nothing, Soviets, nothing. Yet another group locked in melee. Fantastic. And who is next? There. What do we have here? Two German squads versus this Soviet squad. Ambush, Soviets, Germans. This time Germans managed to catch Soviets in melee, in ambush, so they have 2 to 1 and -1 for ambush. 6, the Soviets are eliminated. So first good close combat for Germans, and the last one goes here, and this this is the one that started before. We have 5 versus 2 and 2 versus 5. So Soviets 6, nothing, and Germans nothing. Still locked. I hate it so much. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 melees. Not very good. Now this is flipped on the +1. Oh, I forgot about the routing, and they should be no, sorry, no, I made it properly. Okay, they moved here in the advance phase, so okay, that's correct. Right, so that's all for the close combat phase. No more pin markers to remove, no more. And now that's the Soviet part of the turn 2. So rally phase. Let me check for Soviets. Oh, they should be marked with Desperation Morale because they are adjacent to the enemy unit. And now I can try self-rally them, or maybe them. Well, let's go with them. Nothing in both cases. And now here, there is a German leader, but he has 9, but he's wounded, so his morale is lowered by 1. 6. So he is. There should be desperation morale on him also. So nothing, and this concludes. So there should be a desperation morale removed from here, and they have to keep desperation morale because they are adjacent to the enemy, and they can remove it. So that's all, and this concludes. Yes, this concludes rally phase. Next we have Soviet prep fire phase. So do I want to do any prep fire with Soviets? I think I'm going to fire with this gun again, because this is still a good idea to fire on this German tank. So 1, 2. Oh, I remember. It was 9, and now our two hit modifiers. It's not in the motion anymore, but it has +2 for the smoke and -2 for target acquisition. So we have no modifiers at all, and we need 9. So that's the hit. We hit the hull because white over red hits the head and red over white hits the hull. And now let me check for the penetration values. This is 45mm gun, so it has penetration value of, where it is, 45 LL 11. Okay, and it hit Germans from the side, so there so it is 3, but they have Schurzen, and because of Schurzen's enemy penetration value is lowered by 1. So they haven't 10, but they have they haven't 11, they have 10 instead. So they have 10 versus 3. So that's 7. So, and they lost their rate of fire. And now they need to roll 7 or less to score a hit on this German tank. Well, I should know that I will fail, because that's what I'm doing for the most of this game when it comes to rolls. Okay, so that's all. I haven't any other opportunities to do advancing fire, I think. Prep fire, I think. Well, this mortar can fire here, but that's the melee, so I don't like firing my own troops, so no. So no, that's all. I'm not making any more prep fire. So now, movement phase. So Soviets are moving. And who is going to move? I'm starting with them. They are now losing their double time. They are moving with a leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So their goal is to reach these trenches and support this machine gun, while their goal is to reach this area and form a fire position here. So that's all for their movement. And now my tank, my single T-34-85, it is in motion. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now enemy tank can see me. Well, it could see me since the beginning, because that's the red crest line. So yes, I was in his line of sight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 6. Let me mark it. And now German tank feels that the danger is coming. And can I fire on him? Well, yes, but that would force me to change my facing, because my turret is facing like here, and I want to fire there. So that would be very hard, but even so I am doing this. So I have to move my turret from here to there. Okay. And now let me count for 2-hit modifiers. I moved my turret by one arc, so that's +2. And I am on the smoke marker, so that's 4. I have this +1, so it's 5. I am buttoned up, so that's 6. Enemy is moving, so that's 7. That's 8. And my line of sight is crossing this partial orchard, so it's 9. So I have 9. And I need 10. So only critical hit would save me. Nope, that's not. So I missed. And I can place target acquisition on this Soviet tank. And first fire on German tank. Now Soviet tank continues its movement here, and it stops. It doesn't want to fire. It will wait until the advancing fire phase. So that's all for the Soviet movement, I think. Right, that's all. So next we have Soviet German defensive fire phase. So where do I want to fire with my Germans? Let's take a look. Nothing to do here because of melee. Same here, nothing. This Stuk can fire here, and that's what it does. It has 8 for the machine guns. 8 plus 2, that's 3. Plus 2, that's 5. In the column of 8, 5 means morale check plus 2. 7, so they are fine. Oh, they were pinned before. So that's nothing. And now my gun. And my gun misses again. This is one of the most unfortunate Stuks I have seen in this game. Missing on the such close range. Now, there. Do I have any options where I can fire? Well, here. This is going to be a 12 plus 1. That's 4, so Soviet sniper activation number. And again, big Soviet sniper. But first, that's 4, so this is a covering. So we are moving to 8 and 5 in the column of 8, that's morale check plus 2. And they made it, but they rolled 3. So that's this German sniper activation number. Nothing. So he's sleeping. And I have to roll for Soviet sniper. 5 and 1. So he goes here. And now the closest target is this Stuk. But Stuk is no longer crew exposed. So the closest target will be that German squad. And it is broken because it was big sniper. So Soviet sniper does a hell of good work for Soviets. Now, who is? Do I have any other options to do a defensive fire for Germans? Well, let me check for them. They can fire here. They don't fire through the wood hex, to the wood, so they have 10. Enemy is concealed, so they would have 5. So that's 4 plus 1. Nothing. So that's everything when it comes to the defensive fire. And now we have Soviet advancing fire phase. So I'm going to make use of my tank here, and it's going to fire on the German tank there. Let's check for the 2 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our 2 hit number is 10, and our modifiers are plus 2 for enemy covered with smoke. Next, plus 2 for bounding fire, and plus 1 for fast turret traverse. Plus 1 for bayonet up, so that's 6. So we need 6, we have 6 and we need 10, so 4 or less would be a hit. Oh, close, but not close enough. Still, we can place target acquisition on German tank because that was bounding fire, so firing during the advancing fire phase. Anyone else? No, I haven't any other opportunities for Soviets to fire, so that would be all the Soviet fire. And now we have a road phase. So they can't road, so they are eliminated. They are routing here and there onto this leader. Let me place this marker here to remember about it, because I tend to forget. Now they don't have to road. There are no enemy units around. And that would be everything. Right, that's all for the road phase. And now Soviet advance phase. So Soviet infantry advances here and there. And that's all for the advance phase. Now let's carry on close combats. First one goes here. 9 versus 4. So 2-1 for Germans, nothing, and Soviets are fighting them, so 1-1 for Soviets, nothing. Still locked. Here 1-1. Soviets, nothing. Germans, nothing. Locked as well. There 3-2 for Germans, and at 6. Oh, I think that might be enough. Let me check. 6. Yes, that's enough to halve Soviets, and Soviets are firing back. 4 in the 1-2. That's enough to halve Germans. So they both go into half squads. So let me find proper half squads. That's Soviet, and now German 6-8. That's 1. Okay, found it. Machine guns, and they remain locked. And finally here, this longest close combat. 2-1 for Germans, 1-2 for Soviets. So Germans, they made it. Soviets, nope. So Soviets are finally dead here. That was a long combat, but finally we made it. So this ends turn 2. And yes, that's just turn 2 of the 10 turns of play. This is a very long scenario, but I think if you will take a look on the board, it makes sense. On such a big board, playing a classic number of turns with 5, 6 or 7 would be simply not enough for Germans to make any significant progress. A longer number of turns is definitely important, and that should be fine for Germans, but they have to move faster. Their current progress is definitely not fast enough to win this battle, I believe. So they have to do better. I think they can do better, but we will see. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.